and welcome, once again, to Meatballcraft, Dimensional Ascension. We are once again PPD edition. I am, of course, Lord Rain, but you may also know me as Future Lord Rain. That's right, you have finally caught up to the point where I went back in time and explained Coke and where you can get it from. It's me. It was me, Wally. It was me all along. I did it all. I'm not the Reverse Flash. Anyway, we have two primary goals today. I'm going to show you some of the stuff I've done off screen, just to catch you up on where we are and what we're doing. And then we have two concrete goals today, which is we're going to fight the Wither, because we need a Nether Star. We're being gated very hard on Nether Stars. And we also are going to go to the Twilight Forest. I know, exciting, isn't it? We're going to a new dimension. Also say hi to my Magma Cube trophy. He just randomly dropped out of a Magma Cube that I killed. It's from Open Blocks, so hey, there you go. That's unfortunate because it means now that I know this exists, I'm going to have to make a trophy haul in my base. Okay, we're going to wait a minute for the game to settle in and stop wigging out. Some things have changed a little bit, not too much. I did make the portable version of the transmutation tablet, which is quite nice. You may also see some new things here, like some Thaumcraft goggles, which, I mean, listen, if it has an EMC value, I'm throwing it in the table, right, just so I can pull it out. Same with these GenDustry stuff. We've done some bee-related activities off-screen. You can also put the thermometer into the table, because it also has an EMC value, which I have done so. There's quite a few things. The lab equipment, the genetics labware can also be put in here, too. So let's talk real quick about some of the things that I've done. Okay, first of all, the most obvious change, I've moved the power flower into here, and it is now feeding cobble directly into this auto-crafting thing. I could have just upgraded these pipes, but I was lazy, so I just had three outputs going to it instead of just upgrading one. As you can see, it's pulling cobble as fast as cobble can be generated, which is what you like to see. And it is just going straight down the line. This also is chunk loaded, which is producing some lag, but it's not a permanent fixture. It is chunk loaded this whole area, if you check. Yeah, I've chunk loaded this whole zone so this stays active. We currently have 7 quintuple compressed cobblestone. I believe we need 2 sextuple compressed. Deep, dark portal from Extra Utilities too. Yeah, we need 2 sextuple compressed cobblestones, so we're almost halfway there. I'm just leaving that on in the background because we need that to make the portal. We also, and unfortunately, we need a dimensional thread as well. Stable fabric from Dimension Doors. The Dimension Doors dungeons are a death trap. I will not be doing that off screen. You will get to see me scream and die in real time, or as real time as it can be when these are pre-recorded and uploaded. We already have the golem cores. The golem cores drop from the golems in the battle towers. Obviously, we have the pure flux crystals, and the haste reagent and the phantom bridge reagent are just basic blood magic stuff, and they're pretty easy to make, actually. The haste reagent is 2 cookies, sugar, and chiseled stone, and the phantom bridge is 2 soul sand, any stone, and obsidian. They're really cheap. So the only thing we really need is the compressed cobblestone, the dimension thread. Not too much has changed here. I don't know if I pointed this out earlier, but I did make the mechanical squeezer from Integrated Dynamics. This is the same thing as the squeezer we jump up and down on. The difference is it is automated, it takes power, and it works automatically. The real reason we want this is because it was gating us on some things. We have to have this to do a certain process. In fact, it'll be easier if I just show you. Mystical Agriculture is another resource generation mod. And to get started in Mystical Agriculture, we need these seeds, base crafting seeds, used for crafting, not planting. Everything stems from these, and once we have them, we can start doing this. This is also why I got into bees, because I wanted to set up and get ready to do Mystic Agriculture. The Prosperity Shards you can get early, seeds are okay. You could theoretically get Rocky Combs pretty early, and Dripping Combs can be hard to find, but I guess they're theoretically possible to find in the wild. I've been generating them using bees. The Crystallized Emberstone, however, is the real troublemaker. because there's only one way to get it. You have to make a mechanical squeezer and then use emberstone ingots to make crystallized emberstone. And you can't make a mechanical squeezer until you go to the end, because you need crystallized chorus blocks and shulker shells. You could theoretically get the crystallized chorus blocks early, because I think it's possible to get chorus early using like prize boxes and stuff, and I think it comes out of the eggs in... I think it comes out of the eggs in the hatchery thing too, the plastic eggs. But there's no way to get shulker shells until you go to the end in this pack. So getting the mechanical squeezer required that. So I'm in the process of setting up to get a domestic agriculture, but you need a mechanical squeezer first. Let's see, what else can we talk about? I did make every single one of these things from GenDustry. I haven't made all of the forestry stuff just yet. Actually, hang on, my thing is not equipped. There we go. Now I can fly if I want to. These required a tremendous amount of bronze. However, I will note that while you cannot make alloys on the table, you can create base materials. Tin ingots, iron ingots, alchemical brass, tin, iron, aluminum, copper. You can do this. So I just fed some ingots into the table and then mass produced a huge amount of bronze by pulling ingots out and then throwing them into the smeltery to make them. So that's how I got all the bronze for this. The actual guide for this pack does a pretty good job of directing you in the right direction, but the general gist, and I did watch some tutorials to make sure I understood how this works, the general gist of it is the mutagen producer will make mutagen out of redstone and glowstone. Mutagen then goes into the mutatron, and what the mutatron does is it uses 3 substances. Okay, let's see, let's pick, oh, I don't know. An unusual princess. I've got these sorted, by the way. These are all my princesses and queens, and these are all my drones. An unusual princess and a forest drone. That probably will do something, and if it doesn't, the unusual drone will. Anyway, so what you do is it takes RF, mutagen, and genetics labware, which is super easy to make. Genetics labware is just made from 4 glass and a diamond, and you get 16 of it. But it also has an EMC value, which is why I threw them on the table, and I can just make them with alchemy now. I can just make as many of as I want. But what this does is it will automatically combine bees for you. Okay, and right now there's only one outcome possible, which is the common queen. Does that change anything? You can't even be bred with an unusual drone. That's cute. Anyway, you want the advanced mutatron, and the regular mutatron is actually a component of the advanced mutatron. Do not bother with the regular mutatron. Build the regular mutatron for the progression for the quest, and then immediately build the advanced one. The difference is the regular mutatron has all of this, but when you tell it to breed, it picks one of the possibilities at random, whereas the advanced mutatron lets you pick which one you want. Regular forestry is a crapshoot. You just have to shoot in the dark and keep breeding bees until you eventually get the specific bee species you want. GenDustry massively simplifies this. So go for the advanced mutatron so you can select precisely what you want. I don't think there's anything else that's really necessary. These things also work on butterflies and trees as well from forestry. They can pull things apart, and you can sort of assemble different genetic traits: speed slowest, humidity tolerance 1, flowering, fertility 1. Like you can feed extra bees into like the genetic stuff and pull their individual genetic traits out to custom build super bees, I guess, or super trees, but I don't know much about that. Anyway, moving on. Oh, and before we go, let me actually pick this up and take it with me because I'm going to show you something cool. Let's see. I don't think there's anything new in the magic area. The only thing of note is I have moved the witchcraft table outside because I am now using it. If you recall from the 5.5 public service announcement, I walked past it. You did in fact see it, however briefly. Yeah. Also, I do have this set up so now we're generating crystals. The way this works is the demon crucible will drain demonic will from Tartaric gems and inject it into the chunk, which is this. That's why they're right on the edge. So it's injecting the demonic will into this chunk right here. And then the demonic crystallizer will drain will out of the chunk and turn it and start making these demonic will crystal clusters. And if you have a large enough gem, you're probably gonna have to break the first one with your pick. But once you have a gem that has, I think, over 1,000, if I remember correctly, once you have over 1,000, a gem that has more than 1,000 in it, you can just right click and they pop off for free. Anyway, this is how you get demon will crystal clusters, or demon will crystals. And these are a substance. I knew there would be more. They went flying pretty far. And these are a substance that's used to craft things. Just a heads up. Okay. Now then, before we go outside and check out some things. Well, first of all, I suppose I should do this. Because we are fighting the Wither, and we're going to have a discussion about why we're fighting him the way that we are. Okay, I know I can... are we going to have to look for the skulls? Are they lost amidst the giant piles of loot? I haven't sorted. There we go. I knew I had 3 weather skulls around here somewhere. It was in there. Never mind. Crisis averted. I'm just going to take this with me because we're going to need it. Did I have any soul sand in here? No, it's all in my dank. Not that dank. This dank. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Like that. That's how it's done. Okay. Anyway, moving on. I have begun construction of the new base in the void, and I'm going to show you a neat thing. So, portal to the void. Once again, this skybox is very cool. I'm pretty sure this is Garden of Glass. Now, if you look down, you'll see some things have changed down there. I'm in the process of... Oh, I'm going to die. Why did I not die? Why did I not take any damage from that? The Ring of Flying Squid. There we go. Now it's updated. Now I can do this. Anyway, I am in the process of building... I think I mentioned I want to build like an island, and I think that's going to be the top of the new Hobbit hole. So there's going to be a hill, and that's going to be the top of the hill. And then I'm going to have buildings around the Hobbit hole and like a small little fake forest. So it's going to be a floating island of sorts. This is the bottom of the world. You notice the Y level, if you look over in the corner at the radar, it's Y1. Okay, we are as low as we can go. If I dropped down any further, we'd start to suffocate because we're in the void. So, let me throw this down right here. This is from Building Gadgets, and that is how I have constructed these. So, Building Gadgets, there's several of them. I don't have all of them because I didn't make the destruction tool. I don't have a use for it yet. But the Building Gadgets are... oh, by the way, before I forget, I did in fact manage to find 2 king chargers. I've caught them in soul vials. So we have what we need now. At least that part is done to make the angel ring. We still need stuff from the Twilight Forest and the Betweenlands to make it, but the king chargers are squared. So the way building gadgets work is you can build things, copy-paste things, and you can also exchange blocks for other blocks. There's also a destruction gadget I didn't bother to build that voids blocks in an area. I've been using the construction gadget. And the way that works is... No, we're just going to have to do this then. And the way that works is it lets you... Actually, no, because I'm almost out of stuff in my dank. We'll just do this then. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. There we go. Okay, so the copy-paste gadget lets you copy a pattern, and I'll show you where I have this pattern. It's in the overworld. I probably should have showed you this first, but I can copy a structure and then paste it over and over again. What I have is, in fact, I'll show you what I've built. I can do it right here. There you go. And then it builds it out of stuff in my inventory. This is the basic template I'm using. It is an 11 by 11. The corners are made of dirt, and the center is also made of dirt. This is primarily for my benefits, so I can keep everything aligned, so I know exactly where I've been. I built this by hand outside my base, outside the Hobbit hole, and then I copy-pasted it, so now I can just make it over and over again. Now, if you press G, you can pull up your graphical user interface for this tool. I'm going to go ahead and undo that, which will undo it. There you go, and I get all my stuff back. So the way this works is you can essentially choose to build it how you like. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because some people might get confused. You can choose how this is offset. Okay, so watch this. Right now, it's trying to build it this direction and inside this structure I've already built, which is not working. That's not correct. So I'm going to hold G. First of all, we're going to rotate it. Okay, then we're going to rotate it again. What we're doing is we're rotating it until we see it. There we go. Okay, now it's in front of us. Okay, but the offset is wrong. I want to be so that when I'm looking at this block, when I'm looking at this corner, that it lines up correctly. So we're going to do edit placement. Okay, and here we can actively edit the X, Y, and Z so we can see where it is. Like I can push this, I can push this, right? And it's moving, right? You see that? So I'm going to want it Z0 so it's flush. Then I can change the Y-axis as well. I want it to be 0. The Z-axis, we want it to be +1. Okay. Now what I can do is I can just go, boop, boop, boop. And there we go. This is a really fast way to build platforms. You can see now that even though this place looks very large, I've spent relatively little time here actually building. You can throw together very large structures very quickly with the building tools because it essentially lets you prefab your own custom parts. You can prefab large sections of your build and then just paste them into existence. You can also rotate them. So let's say, for instance, if you had a really big, elaborate church or cathedral structure you wanted to build, and it has, like, I don't know, a dome, right? It's got... Domes are pretty hard to build, right? What you could do is you could construct 1/4 of the dome, right? And then that would be enough. And then you could not only copy-paste domes into existence infinitely, but you could also make it so that every time, you know, you wanted to complete it, you can just rotate it, right? So each quarter of the dome, that way the dome is exact. It matches as you do it, right? So the building gadgets are pretty great. This is mostly just me making a place to build up from, so that way I can measure accurately. The last thing we're going to talk about is the template manager. What the template manager does is it lets you can put your thing in here, and we can actually see what I've built, right? It's offset now, so when it default spawns, it's like over here. But you can see this, right? I can use the mouse to drag it around. Now, what you can do is, let me go ahead and get some paper off of my thing. I think it only takes one, but we can do this. I can call this Void World Bottom Plate. Right? And then I can save it, and this turns into a blueprint named Void World Bottom Plate. And now I can, even if I copy paste something else, right? Even if I copy paste something else and overwrite this, I can always come back to it because this template, this, you know, architecture scroll remembers this, so that way I can come back to it and I can teach my copy paste gadget that again if I want to, if that is something that I need to do. So that's pretty cool. You can like build a collection of prefabs and it lets you build structures very quickly. I will be using, wow, that rainbow is so cool, especially in the rain. But I will be using this to construct the Void World area that I'm building up pretty quickly. As you can tell, we already have a pretty impressive platform. Like I said, I'm going to be building this up off screen because I think me building is probably really boring for you. I imagine you don't want to watch it. So let's go ahead and put all of this back on the table because I put this all sand in there. Please take that back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you. And we'll go ahead and put that away. Put these other gadgets away because I'm not using them right now. And I guess we'll go ahead and put the template manager back. I just wanted to show you that though. That's just a cool thing. Building gadgets are really cool. I believe they were made by Direwolf. I think we credit Dire for that. I think that is one of his mods. So thanks, Dire. Hope you don't fall next time, buddy. If you don't know what that's a reference to, go look up Direfall. But But let's move on, because we've got stuff to do. We've got things to kill. Let's go murder. I've got a few things to show you upstairs, though, before we really get started, including Thaumcraft. Also Blood Alchemy, but mostly Thaumcraft, because we've gotten into that now off screen, and I've got the lab set up, so hey, it looks pretty nice. At least I think so. I was trying to make it look more cozy. Unfortunately, it looks a bit more like an ultra-modern lab. It's not quite that cozy. Let me go ahead and get rid of those numbers. There we go. It's not quite as cozy as I was hoping for, but then again, it's also distinctly possible that lab will be disintegrated at some point in the future by a horrible taint accident. So there you go. Anyway, this is the new Witch's Altar. I moved it outside. These things need to be around greenery to function. And if you right-click it, you can see 518 out of 518 times 7. The times 7 is because of the stuff I have on it. You need certain objects in the classical card suites of, I think it's clubs, or no, it's pentacles, wands, staves, something like that, and also having a head on the table helps. As far as I'm aware, the dragon head is one of the strongest vanilla heads you can put on the table, so I put the dragon head here. I also built the Aether, which is, I think, the strongest, the most valuable sword or stave that you could put here. You could also put like a diamond sword or something, or an amethyst sword on here as well. The goblet is something that is from Bewitchment. It's currently not at its strongest form because there's a ritual, G-O-B-L-E-T, goblet. So the goblet is made very cheaply. It's just a couple of nuggets, but it's part of a ritual that can be used. You can throw it in a cauldron with cloudy oil, a gas tier, and 3 redstone to turn it into a filled goblet. Now, a filled goblet has a couple of different uses in other rituals, but I think the filled goblet is also, it just makes the table better if it's sitting on the table. And one of the best wands, or rods, that you can put on the table is the end rod. And since we've been to the end, I went ahead and got one. I also surrounded it with roses, both because this boosts the numbers a bit more. The roses are what's tipping it up. It was at like 450, now it's 518 because of the roses. But also because it looks pretty. And this is a Bewitchment ritual. We make ritual chalk, and we make focal chalk. You can figure out how to do that yourself using this. It's not that hard. Ritual chalk is made from 3 wood ash, 2 cobblestone, and a birch soul, and then focal chalk is made by putting ritual chalk, liquid witchcraft, and a gold nugget into a cauldron, and you get focal chalk and the empty jar back. It should be noted, however, that you need, in order for cauldron transactions to work, which is what this is right here, it's bubbling because I have it over a magma block, which is heating it. You do need a decent power on your altar. I would suggest a minimum of 500 if you want to do stuff in your cauldron. Otherwise, when you throw things in the cauldron, it's going to be deleted and nothing will happen. You will lose anything you throw in a cauldron if it's not all set up correctly. So make sure, so you don't waste a bunch of stuff trying to make chalks and failing. Make sure that you do this correctly. Set up your altar first. You're looking for something around 450, 500. Then you can start doing stuff in the cauldron and making the ritual chalks. I used this ritual circle to make this grimoire magia, which I think is probably fully charged at this point. Yeah, 1000 out of 1000. So normally in Bewitchment, magic has to be done near an altar because the altar is what powers it. It's like an arcane battery, and it provides power to all of your magical spells. I'm sorry, I know rain is really obnoxious, especially for recording. Let me go ahead and sleep that away. I guess it's very appropriate to be talking about witchcraft in the middle of a thunderstorm in the dead of night, but it's not convenient for audio purposes. Anyway, normally you have to do stuff near a table that has been set up because the table is essentially an engine, like a generator, a battery. It provides power to rituals. That's why the ritual is here, and that's also why the cauldron is here. They're close enough that they're being powered by this. However, what if you want to do magic farther away? Well, you have to make a grimoire magia, which is essentially a magical battery. It is a magic book. There's also the Bastardus Grimoire, but I think that's a creative item because it has like 2 trillion magic in it or something. The Grimoire Magia is formed from a Rite of Knowledge, which uses this kind of a ritual circle, which is exactly what I've set up here, as you can see. And it costs 2 leather, 3 paper, an opal, and liquid witchcraft. It requires 150 power to start, and it needs 20 power for as long as it's running, and then it takes those items and it spits out the grimoire. The grimoire is charged by putting it on the table. And it will charge as long as it's sitting on the table. Part of the reason I did this... get firebombed. Part of the reason I did this is because there is a ritual in Bewitchment that lets you summon a wither for 1 skull. And I thought maybe I would save on skulls by doing that. But I've decided to do it the old-fashioned way because the ritual to do that... yeah, this should show it to us. Yeah. Conjure Wither, okay? It requires a starting power of 1,332, and it will need 66 power for as long as it's running. It'll take an Offame, a Wither Skull, 4 Soul Sand, 3 Wormwood, and some Ectoplasm. That's pretty cheap for summoning a Wither. The problem is the starting power and the running power. The startup cost is more than this grimoire can hold even when it's full. So I don't know enough about Bewitchment to know if you can have multiple grimoires and if you can just fill your inventory with them and run big rituals out of your pocket like that. I don't know if that's a thing. But I figured it's too much work just to summon the Wither a little more cheaply, because the big reason you would want to do it is because it's the only way to get Nether Stars, right? It's a cheaper way to get Nether Stars, but we have the Tome of Alchemy now, so, like, we don't care, right? We'll fight the Wither more, maybe, to get his drops, but we don't... once we get 1 Nether Star, we're gonna dupe them. The last thing to talk about is, of course, this Astral Sorcery, or not Astral Sorcery, I'm sorry. This is the farthest thing from Astral Sorcery that there can possibly be. This is Blood Alchemy. I haven't talked about this on screen, but I want to cover this real fast before we move on. Blood Alchemy is essentially ancient Aztec blood sacrifice magic. It's kind of edgy, kind of dark, also kind of cool. Blood Alchemy itself is a pretty complex magic mod. It's like 3 magic mods in one. It includes sentient stuff like the Sentient Sword and the Tardric Gems. It has this blood sacrifice mechanic, and it's also got, like, alchemy to the tune of, like, Full Metal Alchemist, clap your hands, make a circle kind of alchemy, right? To make effects. So there's a lot of stuff going on in Blood Alchemy. But the general tune of it is this. This Blood Altar, by itself, ignore everything around it, just this one block, is a Tier 1 Blood Altar, okay? To make a Tier 2 Blood Altar, you take a Tier 1 and you surround it with 8 runes, 8 blank runes, okay, which are these things, alright? This is a blank rune. And by the way, this has an EMC value. I really wanna make that clear. Blank rune. Normally, to make these, you need 6 stone. You need some kind of blood orb that's not consumed in the process. It's just put on the table. And then you need 2 blank stones, or blank slates. And a blank slate is made on a Tier 1 blood altar, costs 1,000 blood, and it can turn any stone into a blank slate. This is a big part of the grind in traditional blood alchemy, is getting enough blank slates to build your freaking pyramid. However, the modpack developer, in his immense kindness and generosity, has given an EMC value to blank runes. I strongly recommend, I insist, actually, that you please make 1 blank rune and throw it into your tablet, and then use that to construct your pyramids, okay? You will thank me later, okay? Now, the blank runes can be used to craft other things. We can make, let's see, runes of orb, capacity, self-sacrifice, displacement, sacrifice, charging, right? They can be used to make a lot of things. They can also be used to make tanks, but we're not going to use that because we have the demonically gargantuan drums from extra utilities, so the blood tanks are kind of a joke. We're not putting that much effort into making tanks that aren't even as good. Just know that it takes geometrically increasing amounts of blank runes to make blood tanks, and in the end, the highest tier ones still aren't as good as those demonically gargantuan drums. But anyway, the point is, we surround 8 of these on the bottom, and there's a hole on the here. This turns it into a tier 2. Okay, that's a tier 2. Just this part is a tier 2. Okay, so altar and 8. Now, tier 3 is we take another step back. This has an additional 5 on each side. Okay, and then these columns actually don't need to exist. They're just here for building purposes. They can be destroyed. They don't have to be here. But essentially, you need 5 runes on each side. And then you also need glowstone. These pillars can be anything, but they need to be capped in glowstone. And I think you can use chisel variants for that, although I said that about the nether portal too, and I was wrong. Maybe just stick to vanilla glowstone unless you have unless you are willing to test that. It normally works with variants, chiseled variants, but I'm just using regular glowstone for it. So this is a tier 3. Okay, to make tier 4, you have to do this. You go out one more step, and I think it's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then there's a 2 by 2 square gap here. Right, and then on the corner of that, and again, this empty space, you can decorate it however you want. These can be any blocks you want, but this column is capped in a large bloodstone tile. And this is what makes it a tier 4. So that's tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. And to make the large bloodstone tile, we need any stone and a weak blood shard. And it makes 16 of them. And this is obtainable using a bound blade, which is very similar to the sentient sword. A bound blade, the way it works is you activate it, and it kind of works like a lightsaber, just like that, and then you kill things with it, and occasionally things that die to this will drop a blood shard, in addition to whatever else they drop. Now, I enchanted mine, or I attempted to enchant it with looting. However, it also enchanted with Magic Siphon 5, which is an enchantment I can't currently use because you need Divine Stage first. We have to stage up to be able to use that enchantment. However, even though this means I can't hit enemies with it, like if I swing, watch, you can't deal damage with the bound blade without understanding the enchantment. However, I can have it in my hand and its effect is still like applied, which means I can still get blood shards this way. So I mean, I guess it works out. But also, when you turn on any bound weapon or tool, it drains blood from your blood network, just so you know, just so you're aware of that. So don't leave them on. Make sure you turn them on and off. Don't forget about it. But you need to build one of these, and they're made from a binding reagent, which is made from glowstone, redstone, gold nugget, gunpowder. You need minimum 400 in a Tartark gem to make it. It drains 10. Then the binding reagent can be used to make living armor, as well as it can be combined in an alchemy array with ashes to make bound shovels, pickaxes, axes, and blades. And in fact, I think I'm going to do this maybe, because diamond sickle, blood arsenal. Do I want to make a sickle? I kind of want to make something just to show off. You know what? We'll do bound igniter, life ignition, deactivated, unbreakable, blood arsenal. We'll make one of these because I want to show you this before we move on, because using the arcane ashes is really cool. So we need a binding reagent and a full flint and steel. Okay, and this, I believe it will make a flint and steel that just uses life points to set fires instead of durability. So we need glowstone, redstone, gold nugget, gunpowder. So let's go back inside real fast. Just to show this off, because I think this is really cool. Some of the magic in this pack, a lot of the magic mods, they have really fancy effects. I quite like them. Stone, glowstone, redstone, and then it was gold nugget, gunpowder. Gold nugget, gunpowder. By the way, there is one more thing in the Building Gadgets mod that I'm going to suggest you not do. The Building Gadgets mod has what is called construction paste. And what it essentially lets you do is it lets you fake items. It's pretty cheap to make. Construction paste. So to make it, you create construction powder block, lapis, clay, and sand. All of this is EMC, so you could theoretically make infinite amounts of it. You place it next to water, and it becomes a dense construction block. You can also automate this by running it through a hydrator or a moistener. The dense construction block can then be thrown in a crusher to create dense construction chunks, which can then be crushed again to make construction paste. Construction paste also has an EMC value, which means if you really wanted to, you could put that on the table as well. Construction paste can then be used with the tools in the build tools mod to fake blocks. Okay, now it won't make blocks, like it can't copy block properties. Like if I wanted to fake glowstone, I could, but it wouldn't give off light. if I faked a redstone block, it wouldn't be emitting a redstone signal. Okay, but what it lets you do is if you don't have the materials to make a giant statue out of diamonds, you can still make the giant statue and make it look like it's made out of diamond blocks. It's just not. It's made out of construction paste. Now, this sounds pretty cool, and it is, it's very cool, but I strongly recommend you don't do this. And the reason you shouldn't is because it is... they're tile entities. They are considered tile entities in the game's code, which they don't produce ticks every turn, but they are essentially the same as chests. Okay, which means you can have a lot of them and it'll be fine, but eventually it'll become not fine, and then you'll wonder where all the lag is coming from. It's coming from your construction paste. So I personally don't recommend you use it. I would suggest you just ignore that part of the mod and stick to the building gadgets themselves. But you're an adult and you can do what you want. I'm just giving you a recommendation. So to do this, we put arcane ashes on the floor, and it makes this little alchemy array. Okay. Then we have to follow the exact instructions, right? We want to do this. So we put the binding reagent in, then we put the flint and steel in. Okay. Now watch this. Binding reagent. Boom. Becomes a much bigger magical circle now, which is very cool looking. You could use these for decorations, by the way, if you want to. Although I don't know if they count as entities. They might cause lag if you have too many of them, but they're very cool looking if you just wanted to have them on the floor of your workshop. And then we take the flint and steel, and we put that inside, and now it starts. Here we go. Lightning strikes. Rotating discs. We have a bound igniter. Cool, which looks like this. Life ignition activated. Current owner, Lord Rain. Okay. So that is how those little rituals work. I will keep that. That is a forever thing. I now, once this flint and steel runs out, I don't have to make another one. Anyway, let's move on to Thaumcraft, and then we can actually move on to the fun part where I fight things, and you get to laugh at me when I die. So, Thaumcraft. I should mention, by the way, the reason we're fighting the Wither, because we can mass produce... I should probably sleep. Actually, no, I'll sleep at the lab. It's fine. I have another bed over there. The reason we're going to fight the Wither now is because we're being gated hard on Nether Stars. Right now, and this is where I've got the luminous crafting table set up for the moment. You need to have a luminous crafting table from Astral Sorcery. It has to be exposed to the sky to function. So that's what this bar is. This glowing bar shows how much starlight is in it. Right now it's full. Things made on the Astral Sorcery crafting table require starlight as sort of an energy, and this chest also has my starlight stuff. You also need to make a resonating wand, by the way, because things won't automatically craft on the luminous crafting table. You have to click on them with a wand. Oh, there's rock crystal down below us, because also holding it in your hand will show you where there's rock crystals. That's an example of rock crystal. In fact, we'll go ahead and do this maybe. Yeah, and we'll do some of that and some of that, and we'll go ahead and go down to like Y5. There we go. Just sink that way, way down. And there's rock crystals down there. And now I can see it and go mining for it. Anyway, oh, you can see there's more around here. You can see where they are from the surface. But you need one of these to click on the table to complete the thing. It won't craft by itself like a normal crafting table. Anyway, the next tier, the reason I haven't tiered up to tier 5 on the table is the tier 5 thing. Instead of having these columns, it needs beacons from vanilla Minecraft on the corners, which we need Nether Stars to make, right? We also can't get involved in Woot just yet, because to do that, we're going to need a lot of Nether Star shards. And guess what Nether Star shards are made out of? Did you guess Nether Stars? They're made of Nether Stars. They're made of Nether Stars. You take the shard die and you smash it on a Nether Star to get 9 of these. And getting Nether Star shards is important because it is how we get more Stygian iron without having to resort to this, right? We don't want to have to do this more than a few times, right? So once we get Nether Stars, we can make our own Stygian iron from Nether Stars instead of having to do that, right? So we need Nether Stars badly, which is why we're going to fight the Wither. However, let me show you. my lab. Turn that off for now. Redwood Lab. Check this out. This is my lab for Thaumcraft stuff. I have set this up off screen. I think it's pretty nice looking. It's a little disc. In fact, let me go ahead and do one of these. Where on earth is my glider? Oh, there it is. Let me show you what it looks like from farther away, because I think it looks better from the outside. Like I said, I was trying to make it look cozy, but it sort of looks really ultra modern. I don't mind that though. The Natira redwood looks really cool though. Let me actually go to this island, and you'll be able to see it better from here, I think. Check that out. That's what the lab looks like. Pretty neat, huh? Anyway. This way, if there's any monumental disasters related to taint or warp, they'll happen here and not near my real base. So, let's actually go ahead and... the sky's still out, so I guess I'll demonstrate something real fast. So, in Thaumcraft, you need to examine things to get, like, research points. Okay? And I actually have a deactive... It's an invisible, but it's an active warp to the top of this tree, so I can warp up here. This is for viewing the stars. So you need this thing called a thermometer to scan items, okay, and also scan things in the environment. Because I have scribing tools and blank paper in my inventory, both of which you will note have EMC values. Please note that. You can make paper and scribing tools on your table. But watch this. If I scan the moon, I get celestial notes. It costs me a piece of paper, but I get lunar, wax, and gibbous. I get notes on that phase of the moon. I can also scan each of the quadrants of the sky. West quadrant, or wait, no. Excuse me. There we go, west quadrant. I think it was because I was too close to the moon. So west quadrant, south quadrant, east quadrant, north quadrant. So you can get these. Well, what are those notes used for? Well, they're used for research. We teleport back down. You can scan blocks in the world. I have deliberately left some blocks unscanned so you can see what it looks like. So if you look, you can see, wow, this thing is sparkling, and so is that thing. I have yet to scan the imperfect ritual stone. I learned something new from that. You've learned something new. You can gain research by scanning items. You can also scan things in your inventory by holding the lens over them. I'm not sure. Oh, I've never scanned the coins. That's nice. Is there anything else I haven't scanned in my inventory? These notes I haven't scanned. Okay. How about wither skulls? I know I scanned the time in a bottle. Soul sand. We learned something new from that. Anyway, you create notes and they go into your book. Now, take the thermometer, take the paper, take the scribing tools. The way this works is like follows. Let me put these notes away. So, where is my book? The Thaumonomicon. Okay. When you do research, you unlock things. I'm focusing on alchemy because he kind of suggests you do, because you can essentially... What I mentioned earlier will make a lot more sense now. That really scary Vishroom, you make it, you eat it, and then it unlocks everything in one shot, so you don't have to do any more research. Having played with Thaumcraft now, I've never played with it much before. This is a really cool mechanic for unlocking stuff, and I quite like it. However, I can understand why a lot of older Minecraft players who have a lot more experience with this mod dislike it. Because if I had to do this like around the 5th or 6th time in a mod pack, I would also grow to hate this kind of incremental research that takes forever to get anywhere. It would suck, quite frankly. So I get it. It's fun, but I get it. So I strongly recommend, much like what I'm doing, go for that really scary Vishroom that he has produced as a thing. The really scary Vishroom is really scary. It unlocks all Thaumcraft knowledge at the cost of a lot of permanent warp. Having access to at least the Dreading Warp Cleanser is a decent idea. Having access to the Omethal Warp Cleanser is a very good idea. Anyway, so that skips it. But the way this is supposed to work is you create things. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, sure. We'll just do this just to complete it. Just don't ignore everything I'm doing. Okay. We're going to start over. Okay. We'll create a theory. And this costs paper to do, by the way. It also costs durability on a set of scribing tools. You have to put scribing tools on this table and paper on this table. But we have a series of ideas, inspiration, and also I have a bookshelf because I have bookshelves next to this. And that costs one of my inspiration to activate the bookshelf, but it helps me with some of the research. For now, I'm not going to use it. We create a theory. Okay. I can choose between. You focus your mind and magical and spiritual energy around you, honing it to grow more attuned to its ebb and flow. You gain 15 auramancy and a bonus draw. Or experimental infusion, by making assumptions on the results of infusing certain objects with essentia and then testing those results, valuable insight may be gained. You will learn much by combining soul essentia with golden sword and then studying the result. Gain 18 infusion. So I don't have soul essentia, and I'm not going to bother creating it. Do note that anything that has an exclamation point on it will be consumed. It will be destroyed if you use it in these experiments, whereas things without an exclamation point, you merely need to have them in your inventory. We're not going to do this, so I'm going to take the spiritual focus instead. And as you can see over here in the corner, we now have 15% progress on auramancy research. Now I can choose between these three things. Mind over matter. You carefully examine and take apart some basic components in the hopes of I can't quite read that. Finding new ways to assemble them in more complex creations. You gain 16 artifice. That's going to cost us a TNT cart if we do it. I can ponder. You have carefully considered all you've learned so far. Gain 25 progress divided evenly between all current active categories and a bonus draw. That costs 2 of our light bulbs instead of 1. Or synthesis, where I combine spiritus and averso essentia and examine the effect. Now, I don't know if I have spiritus and aversio. I have a lot of essentia here, because this is the lab. I do have spiritus. Do we have avert? Did I misspell that? I may have misspelled that. How do we... No, I didn't misspell it. I just don't have it. Okay, how do we make aversio? This will be a good demonstration of making it. Really, we don't have any sword. Are you serious? We can make some of that real quick, and this will be a good demonstration of how to do that. A wooden sword. Oh yeah, we can make a wooden sword real fast. So here's how you can do this. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. So 1, 2, and then 1, 2. There we go. So, what is these crystals? Well, like, how does this work? Well, I was new to Thaumcraft, but I can try and explain this. Basically, we make a crucible, and we can throw stuff into it. Okay, it has to have water in it, and water has to be heated, so that's why there's a magma block there. Normally, you would bucket water in, but I've made the ever full urn, which is an object you can make. It will attempt to fill anything nearby with water, so this will automatically refill the cauldron as we go. Now, if we look, the wooden sword has, see how it has that sword under it with 4? That's telling you that it has a aversio-like element associated with it. Like, look at scrap metal. It has 1, and then that metal ingot, which is, I think, Metalia. It's got 1 Metalia. Look at the Wither Skulls. They have, like, 10 death, 10 spirit, and then 10 destruction or something, whatever that other skull is. Right? These are the elements that things are made of. 33 beast, 33 armor, right? 1, I think the circle, like the recycling sign, is exchange, right? 120 fire, 45 metal, 44 magic, 36 something I don't know, 36 sword, and then 12 greed, right? These things are all comprised of different Thaumcraft elements. If you throw something into a crucible, it essentially breaks down into its component elements, and then you can extract them using quartz slivers, which are made by breaking down nether quartz. So you can just take nether quartz, and then it'll break down into 9 slivers for each quartz, and that's how you make those. Now, it's important for you to clean up your cauldron after you do this, to not leave any extra essentia in it when you break stuff down to get these components, because anything that's left will dissolve into the air, and it'll turn into, like, taint. It turns into negative magical energy, and if too much of it builds up, really bad things can happen. So it's important to clean up after yourself whenever you do this. But watch. I'll throw the wooden sword in. Puff. It's gone, and now there's 4 sword up for grabs. I can throw my slivers in there, and each one will take 2. So that sword gave me 2 Averso, and as you can see, the Everfull Urn refilled it. Also, the reason I can see the values with my bare eyes is because I have the Goggles of Revealing on. If I, for instance, I don't know, didn't have that, let's do it again, and I'll show you. If I didn't have that with the goggles on, I wouldn't be able to see. So I would just have to sort of play it by ear. We'll do that one more time so you can see it without the goggles. If I throw that in, see, I can't see crap now. I don't know what's in the cauldron. I just have to hope. But if you count it right, you can get away with it. And as you can see now, you can see the urn filling it up. But the goggles are an accessory. They're a bauble. You can put them on your head slot, and it lets you see them. It also gives you these cool looking goggles that you can sort of wear, although now they're not visible on my face for some reason. I don't know why. Huh. Anyway, the point is, that's how you can extract stuff from this. And now we have 4 Aversio to add to our collection. Well, we have 3. Now we can take this and synthesis. Boom. Now you'll notice that they've disappeared, but I have actually combined them. They've created Diabolus, which is demon, devil element, right, has been created. And I think I already had some of that. Yeah, I did. But we're furthering our research, right? Let's do another hit. I can take some time to make detailed measurements, can gain 15 infusion, or I can open myself, gain 20 Oromancy. There's a chance you'll gain Eldritch Knowledge or Warp. I'm actually going to pick Awareness because I have found out through some research that the thing that he wants you to do, where he wants you to get the bath salts and purifying soap, you actually need to be afflicted with a Warp event first before you can build those to help you fight against it. You'll notice even though they're in alchemy, the bath salts and the soap are not visible. That's because I have not yet experienced a warp event, and they're not unlocked for me yet. So I'm actually going to risk it and take the awareness. I'm going to gamble because I kind of want a warp event to happen. Mind over matter, I could gain 18 artifice if I was willing to sacrifice a clock, or I could concentrate and gain some alchemy at the cost. It doesn't consume the herba. I'm just meditating on it. Herba is, we do have that. We should. We ought to. Yeah, we have some herba crystals, which is, as you may imagine, herbs, plants, concentrate. There we go. We're getting 50. We're getting close to getting an alchemy inspiration done. You note that a lot of tinkering you're doing is inspired by your experience in life. Gain 25 Thalmic Tinker at the cost of 4 XP levels. I might take that. I don't want to reject my alchemy findings because I'm trying to push for alchemy. I'm going to take experience. We're going to go again. I'm still not going to reject alchemy findings, which I have to do spiritual focus. Experimentation, gain 15 to 30 progress in a completely random category. This can be a category you've never found before, so experimentation can really help you. Tinker with matter energy, or I can gain 30 to 42 artifice. That's a lot of artifice, and all I need to do is have an anvil in my inventory, which I have here, conveniently enough. So yes, I will tinker, then I'll put the anvil back. Okay, I can do Fabrico and Alienus Essentia. I will keep them. I'll gain 25 alchemy. Or I can gain 40 alchemy, which would be almost 100%. There's a chance I'll gain 1 inspiration. This is Potentia and Metallium. I'm very sure I have Potentia and Metallium. So we're going to go ahead and... I know we have Metallium. Put the herba back. There. Potentia. I knew we had it. Okay. We'll do that. That's going to make me an Instrumentium. Potential and metal combined create the instrument element, which makes sense. And then one more pull. I can calibrate to get 15 artifice, or I can gain even more alchemy from Motus and Mortus. Motus is motion, and Mortus is the death element, I think. Mortus we have. I don't know if I have Motus though. Oh, we do have some. Okay. And then this will complete an alchemy inspiration for us. There we go. We exceeded 100%. We will complete the theory. There you can see I've got some theories done, and they go into my book right there. So we'll stop there for now. But that's how Thaumcraft works. Now you'll notice that certain things, like for instance the Ascension tubes, they require observations on alchemy and artifice. I have those. That's what I'm doing, is I'm creating theories and observations on this table. So in order to unlock Ascension tubes, I need at least one observation on alchemy, at least one observation on artifice, and then I need to sacrifice files of Alchemica, Alienus, Vinculum, and Vitium, which are the things I don't have, right? But that's how this stuff works. Like, for instance, metal purification. I need 2 theories on alchemy to complete this. I have that now. I can complete it. And there we go. Metal purification. Native clusters are rare concentrations of metals in its purest form. These clusters, when smelted, produce twice the normal amount of ingots. If I can find a way of producing native clusters alchemically, it would reduce my need to go mining. This is a way to magically double your items. And you can also, they have an EMC value. So if I make each one of these once and throw them on the table, I can then create native metal clusters at my leisure, which is quite nice. But it costs 5 metallum and 5 ordo, and then the native clusters can themselves be refined. Let me show you. Like native iron, if you smelt it directly, it's worth 2. It'll give you 18 cold iron nuggets instead of 9, right? Using it with an upgraded redstone furnace will cook it into 3, etc., etc., etc. Anyway, we're going to stop there because I don't want to show you much more because this takes some time, believe me. I definitely understand why certain people get exasperated with Thaumcraft after playing it once or twice. I get it. We're going to go ahead and put that away. We're going to go ahead and put that away. Actually, no, I'll put that in general loots. Let's not clutter up my stuff too much. There. There we go. Put that away, that away. That away, that away, that away. There we go. And then we will put the alchemical ashes back. And I think we're pretty good for now. There we go. Okay. So, this is what we need to make the thing to open our portal to the Twilight Forest. So let's go ahead and make it. So it has to be made on here, and it is, I believe, crab claws in each of the 4 corners, and then alchemical brass. Right. So, Eternal Dusk. As I am becoming more well-versed in thaumaturgy, things are starting to make more sense. Well, they make less sense, but I can feel more. And I now feel like crabs are part of something bigger. They're not from this world. Well, not originally. They come from somewhere else, many generations ago, and they eventually evolved here on Terra to adapt to the current environment. Someone brought them here using a wormhole created using Thalmic powers. Flux Lens. It costs 20 vis. It's going to cost an air crystal, an ignis crystal, and a terra crystal. And it creates the Flux Lens. You need 4 crab claws, 4 alchemical brass ingots, which you will note have an EMC value, please note that, and a pure Flux crystal. So, the way this table works is you can put crystals on the side of it. I have the 6 prime elements, terra, ignis, air, aqua, ordo, and perdito, which is earth, fire, wind, water, order, and chaos, essentially, for lack of a better term. It's going to cost us 1 of each of these. Also, you'll notice there's 280 vis available in the air. This is kind of like the demonic will being transfused into the air. Vis is available in chunks, and as you do transactions, it will drain, but it does slowly regenerate over time. So this is going to cost us 19 vis, because I have a 5% discount, because I think I'm wearing the goggles. Is that what's giving it? Yeah. Vis discount 5%, goggles of revealing. So I can make this, and it'll cost us those crystals, that amount of vis, and these items. There we go. Flux Lens. Now all I have to do is drop this into a 2x2 puddle that is surrounded by flowers, and that will open the portal to the Twilight Forest, which is one of my very favorite mods, dimensional mods. And let's see if that unlocked anything for us. Yeah, it sure did. It unlocked the quest to go beat the crap out of all the bosses and fight them. Okay. So before we do that, let's go fight the Wither. We're just going to backslash. It'll be faster. Home. There we go. How's my armor doing? I know I'm going to have to repair my shield. But how are we doing on armor? We're doing pretty cool on armor. We will repair my shield, though, because my shield's taken a beating and I haven't repaired it in a while. My battle sign. Okay. I think I'm going to do this on the roof of the Nether. I also am not going to do this with my Apprentice Pyromancer wand that I'm trying to level up. We are going to do this with the Big Boy wand, if I can find it. There it is, Master Earth Mage wand. And let me go ahead and refill that, too. Let me refill that thing. We're definitely going to do Solar Beam for this, because I don't know if Blazes will hurt him. I'll summon one just for fun to see if he does anything to it, but I suspect what this will probably be is I'll summon Blaze and then start throwing Solar Beams or Ice Shards at him. This is probably how this will go. Also, just as an aside, I did look into Ice and Fire to try and see if there's an easy way to find adult dragons underground, the nesting mothers. There's a certain depth you should dig at, but largely the answer just seems to be no, unfortunately. You just gotta go for it. There's not really an easy way to do it. Some of the easy ways to do it involve using composters to give yourself wall hacks, but the composter block does not exist in this version of Minecraft, so that's not going to help me. Or you, if you're playing along. Yeah, I get wrecked, Black Dog. You're not going to catch me in time. Okay. Let's once again go to the roof of the Nether. I think I'm going the wrong way. Yeah, here it is. Sorry, all netherrack looks the same. It's very easy to get lost. I would have liked to have made some anti-withering equipment for this, but as far as I can tell, most of the stuff you need to arm yourself to better fight the Wither, you can only get after fighting the Wither at least once, go figure. So, it is what it is. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and start this shindig. I guess I'll move it over here, maybe? Yeah, let's move away from our place a little bit. Let's take this out into the wilderness. There's another one of those pyres. Still not quite sure what he meant by the don't cheat signs. I'm not quite clear on those, but whatever. Okay. I think we're as ready as we're ever gonna be. I probably could have gone back home and gotten one of my nice foods and eaten it, just to, you know, really buff myself up, but I think we'll probably be fine. I do have Lava Charm, Ring of Flying Squid, Climbing Gloves, Fire Charm, Ring of Condensing. I think I have another ring that might help with this. Conjurer's Ring. Conjured items last twice as long. I don't think being set on fire is going to be a big problem in this fight, because I don't think he has any fire abilities, but making anything I conjure last twice as long will probably help. Void Charm, Air Charm. Yeah, I think we're about as good as we're going to go. Okay. Vanilla Wither fight. Let me go ahead and put the blaze on. There we go. Oh, come on. There. Okay. Well, at least the blaze acknowledges him as an enemy. That's nice. Oh, the blaze just gets instantly murked. Oh, but it doesn't matter because magic is wrecking him. Okay. And he's done. Solar Beam just destroyed him. Solar Beam just evaporates him. He's gone. He's done. He's finished. Okay. Good to know. That's nice. Man, he makes a mess, doesn't he? I mean, to be perfectly fair, like, Netherrack doesn't have that high of a blast resistance, but still, he left a crater. That man just threw a temper tantrum. I will take that Cobalt Ore. I will not turn my nose up at Cobalt. Anyway, let's see what we got. Okay, we got our first Nether Star. We got an Enchanted Scroll of Purification. We got some Glowstone. We got a Yellow Heart, some Supremium Essence, shiny, and Graves Dust. Because he is, of course, an undead. I guess some anti-undead tools could potentially have been useful in this fight. The important thing is we got our first Nether Star, which means we can use the Tome of Alchemy to dupe it, which is exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to go home. Now, I don't think... Is the tome in this? Yeah, it is. Okay, so uses its charge to duplicate items. I want to see this in action. I'm showing this. Now, you'll notice the Nether Star in vanilla Minecraft, Project E, the Nether Star does have a value. This pack developer has removed the Nether Star's value, presumably because he wants you to make the Tome of Alchemy for this. But the Tome, combined with this, makes 2 Nether Stars. And then it makes 2. There we go. We've turned 1 into 4 immediately, and it only cost us some redstone. Very, very cool. So now we are no longer constrained. In fact, that by itself is enough to upgrade the Blood Alchemy thing, although I'm not going to do it today. We're going to spend all of our time exploring the Twilight Forest, because that's way more interesting than watching me craft beacons and try and upgrade a Blood Alchemy thing. So we're going to go ahead and put, I think, yeah, we'll call Nether Stars a crystal. Yeah, sure, why not? And I guess we can put the Tome of Alchemy back in my box of books. And then we're going to go to the Twilight Forest. Now, I'm going to need some flowers for this, because it does need to be surrounded by flowers. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it may only need to be on the edges, but I'm going to do a ring around the whole thing, just to be sure. And then we will do... We need 2 buckets for this. Give me one of those. Thank you. Now, the Twilight Forest is legitimately one of my favorite mods of all time. There are a lot of Minecraft mods out there that add extra dimensions, and the extra dimensions are, not to be too rude about it, they're kind of crappy. They're a lot like the early Nether, if anyone remembers that. When the Nether first came out, it was just like a 1-color dimension. Like, everything was made of netherrack. It was kind of dingy. There were like 2 new enemies. And you just went there basically to get set on fire and beat up. And there wasn't really much there. The only real purpose of it was the sheer novelty of going there, right? But objectively, it kind of sucked, right? There's a lot of dimension mods out there that add dimensions that are a lot like that, quite frankly. 1, 2, 3, 4. In that, the dimensions they add are unimpressive, to say the least. However, the Twilight Forest and the Betweenlands are 2 of the best dimensions in modded Minecraft, in my personal opinion. They are outstanding. They are essentially whole other overworlds. They are entire extra overworlds in terms of how complex they are, how diverse they are in having their own theme. I'm actually going to also, real quick, I forgot to do something. I actually set all of this up ahead of time and then forgot to show you. Let me go back to the lab real fast. It'll only be like a 2-second detour. There's a row of crafting tables I have set up. So, this is what we need to go to different dimensions. As you can see, this is the beginning of the Deep Dark portal. We're missing the compressed cobblestone in the dimension thread, but everything else is here to make that block. This is everything that's needed to make the snow globe, which is Divine RPG. It'll take us to Iceika. We need glass, 2 ice crystals, 2 magic crystal shards, which is made by putting one of the Electroblob magic crystals and just breaking it down into 9 shards, a shadow bar, and snow. The ice crystals can be made, but they also drop from enemies. You can make one in a glacial precipitator, but they also drop from hunches, ice giants, polar ursas, snow chargers, yetis, which are all the enemies that spawn during the day in ice biomes. So daytime ice biome enemies, you can beat them up and get ice crystals from them. This creates the snow globe, which I now have, to the icy realm. This is used to make skyroot planks. So you need eucalyptus, rammerhead hide, which is that giant land shark that knocks you back, and then illumination powder, which has to be made on the crafting table, the Astral Sorcery crafting table, and that's why I set that up on the roof of that building. It takes 4 glowstone dust and aquamarine to make 16 of it, and please do remember you do have to wave the wand over the table to complete the recipe. It won't just complete on its own. and that makes 16 of it. Now, you need 3 of these. You need to do it 3 times because skyroot planks are used to make a skyroot bucket. Fill it with water and use it to open a portal to the Aether. Skyroot planks are craftable. Quest completed. Also, since this can apparently be taught, I'm going to go ahead and teach that to the table. Now then, I just want you to see these. We might open those portals, but we're going to explore the Aether or the Twilight Forest primarily in the time that we have. But I just wanted to show you this. I did have that set up. We can't currently go to the Deep Dark yet, but we can go to these other places. The Twilight Forest, I mean, I'll show it to you. Why do I have to describe it to you? I'm going to show it to you. So, you make this shallow pool. You surround it in flowers. And then we drop the key into it, which in this pack is the Fluix lens. And there's a lightning bolt, and now we have a portal to the Twilight Forest. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. I missed. Give it a minute. It's loading a brand new dimension. Give it just a second. It's going to take a minute to finish this. We have to be patient. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Twilight Forest. One of my favorite extra dimensions. Look at the size of these trees. Beautiful. They're just like the Natura redwoods. We can get saplings for those, by the way. Let me go ahead and mark a home portal. There we go. I'm actually going to turn up the music on my end a little bit because this has an amazing soundtrack to it, by the way. The Twilight Forest is a very beautiful place. As you can guess, it is stuck perpetually in twilight. It is not day or night, but somewhere in between. Let's go ahead and read our quest book, I suppose, because I imagine it has something to say about this. Okay, blank magic map. Make this to find locations in the Twilight Forest. Oh, and it's just made from from any paper surrounding a magic map focus, which I believe I found one of those in a chest. This is the thing I mentioned in my public service announcement. I did find a magic map focus, so we could go back and get that if we wanted to, and that will lead us to special things. Big picture, Book of Worlds. Did we unlock something by going here? Twilight Forest. Drop a Fluix lens into a 2x2 pool of water surrounded by flowers. This strange planet, dominated by the influence of Thalmic magic, is tidally locked, meaning that in each region of the planet, the time of day is conserved. The regions that are fully diurnal are too hot to allow for the presence of life, while the fully nocturnal regions are a barren, frozen wasteland. And the regions in between, though, called the Twilight Forest, life is abundant, and for some reason, those that master Thalmic powers have decided to keep it as one of their strongholds. And of course, there is the Aether Islands. Use a skyroot bucket on a glowstone portal. The Aether Islands are located at the bottom of Terra's asteroid range. There is enough atmosphere to allow for plenty of vegetation. The strong influence of astral magic has led to interesting formations that are made out of gases in their solid state. And then there is the Erebus Caves. Build a frame of stone bricks and fill inside with leaves. Right-click a Gaian keystone placed 7 blocks away using a Staff of Gaia. Prepare 2 of these setups. The Erebus Caves are a weird, really weird place. While gravity has a defined direction, there is no sign that the soil either above or below these large caves will ever end. It almost feels like they are not located on a planet. Rather, these caves feel like they are truly flat. The powers of witchery definitely play a role in this, but it seems like this place is not even located on a planet. The insects living in this world seem to be originated by some higher power, since they are not directly able to travel through higher dimensions by themselves. And then, of course, the Betweenlands. The Betweenlands, not unlike the Erebus Caves, do not appear at exist within the 3 dimensions of space senses can feel. Because of slices that can sometimes be seen, it is evident that this place is located on Terra, but it exists in higher dimensions, making it impossible to perceive for a 3-dimensional being unless the portal to this cursed swamp is used. And then the Iceika Hills. Use a snowy globe on a frame made out of snow blocks. The frozen planet of Iceika is a testament to what the powers of wizardry can accomplish at their most extreme version. It seems hard to believe, but the state of this land was caused by a single individual, having unleashed enough power to cause effects comparable to the fall of a large meteor. A single spell was able to fully change its climate, turning it into a desolate, icy land. Okay. Hello? Oh dear. Well, we're about to experience a significant amount of lag, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize. I think this is going to be the end of that tree. I don't think I can do anything to stop this. Well, maybe I can. Please don't lag. Please don't lag. Please don't lag. I think it might be for the best to just let this go. It's probably going to run out of fuel eventually. It's going to peter out, I think. But, well, let's explore the top of this tree before it's all dead. So, these large Twilight Forest trees, you can go inside them, and there's even vine ropes, which are currently being burned. But let's go up here and check out what's on top of this tree. Sometimes there's little dungeons on top of these trees, which is quite cool. Also, since they are hollow and you can travel into them, they do make pretty cool bases. Is this one of the ones that has stuff in it? I don't think it is. You can kind of tell because the ones that have stuff will have knobby, like, wooden chunks sticking out of them, which I don't quite see on this one. So I think this one's probably not got treasure in it. I don't think this one has the little mini dungeons either, because it doesn't appear to have the stuff you would normally see. Yeah, I think we're fine. These trees can safely burn down. I think it's okay. Anyway, this is the Twilight Forest. It is, the best way I can describe this place is it is a post-apocalyptic fairy tale land. It kind of reminds me a lot of Dark Souls, not in the sense that it's anything like Dark Souls in terms of gameplay, but the Twilight Forest has always reminded me of Dark Souls in the sense that it really has a feeling that you're coming in after the story is already over, and your participation or presence here is largely just an afterthought, right? The real story has already taken place, and everyone is either already dead or has been driven mad, right? Oh, that's a Yeti dungeon over there. You can see because of the cave. We might go fight him, actually. And that's what I mean when I say it reminds me. Is that a custom structure? That's new. I don't think that's... I swear, is that a freaking flying saucer he's got in the Twilight Forest? I swear it looks like it's some kind of Thaumcraft library. Ooh, this is one of the dungeons. You see how it's shallow? It's got wood immediately, like, on the surface? This is one of the dungeons. This is what I was looking for. But it reminds me a bit of Dark Souls in just the sense of how you're late to the party, right? Is what it feels like. Like, there was a story that happened here, but it's not got anything to do with you, right? You're just showing up after the fact. Nice. Come on. There we go. Let's see what was in that. Let's see what's in this chest. Okay. We got some melon seeds, a tree of time sapling, the twilight mangrove, canopy tree saplings, and some water buckets. Okay. I was kind of hoping to get one of the big Twilight Forest trees, because that'll grow one of these for you. Those are fun saplings to have. We might, if I can find one, I'll probably put that in the Void World, like next to my base, just to have a really big, cool tree. I don't see any more of the dungeons attached to this tower. Let me check real fast. Or attached to this tree. I call it a tower. I don't see any. Nope, I don't think there are any, actually. Okay. Yeah, that tree's probably definitely going to burn down. Rip tree. What do we want to do? Let's tell you what. Here's what we'll do. Because we do have the Iceika portal now, and I've never been to Iceika at all. I've never been there. Tell you what. Let's explore this, whatever that is. Let's go fight and kill the Yeti, and then I'll go back and we'll make the Iceika portal. How does that sound? Just because I can. This is definitely new. This is some kind of custom structure. It looks like it's made out of Thaumcraft stuff. Those are steel leaf blocks, I think. Yes, they are. Blocks of steel leaf. And that's gilded canopy wood from Electroblobs. What is this? Is this legitimately a Thaumcraft flying saucer or something? Oh my gosh, it is. It's literally a flying saucer. Oh geez. Oh geez! Greetings, gentlemen. Gentlemen. Oh lord, there's 4 of them in here. Hang on. I need just a second to breathe. There we go. I am mostly blind. I can't see. It's very dark, but I kind of know what I'm doing. I was not expecting to get jumped by an entire army of Crimson Cultists. By the way, Crimson Cult is a path of research in Thaumcraft. I think that's what those books that I found are used for. Yeah, it gets solar beamed. I picked Venusaur as my starter as a child. You do not frighten me. Okay, I think we've done it. There's a lot of stuff on the ground. Hang on. We got pants, clothes, Crimson Cult, another Crimson Rites book. Still not sure what those do. What knowledge does this hold? Crimson Portal spawn eggs are craftable. Let me, hang on. Oh. And there's a wooden crate here. I see. Interesting. I might come back and harvest all of this stuff, because I think all of these materials are valuable. Like this whole... I can't believe there's a Thaumcraft flying saucer. Modpack dev, you made a Thaumcraft flying saucer! I kind of like that. Multi-jump from Cyclic. And last stand from Open Blocks. Okay, I'll take it. Anyway, let's go ahead and stash all of this. Thank you. Then I'm definitely taking this steel leaf. Excuse me. Wow, it takes a long time to mine steel leaf blocks. Oh wait, is it technically considered a leaf? Does the axe break it faster? Oh, it does. Because these are blocks of steel leaf. Let me double check this, because I think, hang on, because we might be able to make the Tinker's Armor next time. Pattern. It's pattern, right? Yeah, it's pattern. Hang on. So, the armor plates, the... Boots. No. What is it that we need for this? It's the armor plates, the armor trim, and then the actual cores. So these are the 2 things I didn't have. We need 3 steel leaf for the trim, and then for the plates, we need signalum, which I can make. Holy crap, we can make the Tinker's Armor now, because we have all this steel leaf. I might come back and get this later, because I don't want to get too greedy on stream. I'm sure you don't want to see me like go nuts and steal all the steel leaf live, but I'm stealing some of it live. Like, holy crap, there's so much of it here, too. So steel leaf is a special substance from the Twilight Forest. You can make equipment out of it too. And what it does is anything that is made of steel leaf will regenerate if you have steel leaf in your inventory. So it's automatically regenerating. Actually, let me do this. Hang on, I'm sorry. Let me do steel leaf. Or no, we'll just call it Thaumcraft flying saucer, because that's what it is. Modpack dev, you're a crazy, crazy guy. You know that? Making a Thaumcraft flying saucer. That's great. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 would participate in getting jumped by Crimson Cultists again. Let's see, where was the snow? The snow was over here towards spawn, wasn't it? Yeah. Let's go beat up that Yeti, because we've got another 40-ish, 30-ish to 40-ish minutes. Let's go beat up that Yeti. Man, that tree is really going up. I tried to save it. It's just, it wasn't having any of that. Sorry, is that a structure down there? That's a well. That's what that is. That's nothing important. By the way, there's lots of really cool creatures in the Twilight Forest. The forest is very peaceful. Check out these deer. They're so cool looking. They got antlers and stuff. This is a really cool dimension. It's such a cool dimension. Post-apocalyptic fairy tale land is a great aesthetic for any extra dimension in a video game to have. It's really fitting for Minecraft. I'm not sure why the soundtrack isn't playing. I haven't heard the Twilight Forest soundtrack kick in, which is a bit depressing because the soundtrack is one of the best parts. The sort of haunting, sort of almost Legend of Zelda-y style music that plays here. I don't know if there's something wrong with my settings or if there's something wrong with the pack. Hopefully that gets fixed at some point, because the sound, the music of this place is one of the best things about it. So hopefully that gets fixed. Anyway, this is a Yeti cave. Would you like to guess what's inside of it? If you guessed Yeti, congratulations, give yourself a cookie. We're going to go fight a Yeti, and then I think we'll probably go home and maybe make that Iceika portal real fast, because I can. Because I'd like to check that out too, because that's a dimension I've never been to before. I have never been here. There's currently a blizzard going on in the snow biome. Isn't that neat? Ouch. Oh, that's right. I forgot. You have to do this in order, don't you? So, okay. I forgot. I forgot all about this. So in... Oh, there's a kobold here. Getting nuked. There is a... there's an order that you're supposed to do this in. Okay, where there's bosses here, and you're supposed to fight them in sequence. Notes on an icy cave by a forgotten explorer. Hang on. An explorer's notebook covered in frost. The blizzard surrounding these snowy lands is unceasing. There is no ordinary snowfall. This is a magical phenomenon. I will have to conduct experiments to find out what is causing such an effect. Next entry. The curse seems to be of a type too powerful for one alone to produce. Several wizards working in combination would be necessary. If one of the wizards stopped contributing, the blizzard would surely calm. Strangely, my divinations do not show signs of any nearby living wizards. I did see something interesting on one of the nearby pointy-roofed towers, though. So I think we have to kill the Lich first, who is an undead wizard living in a tower in the plains areas. We have to kill at least one Lich to be able to earn the right to go into the Yeti cave. By the way, look at what the Yetis look like. You see the picture of him up in the corner? He's got those wide open, giant mouths. They're kind of... They almost look like a Japanese keychain or something, like a keychain dongle. They're pretty funny looking, but we can't enter this place. You see the barrier? It's stopping us. If I try and go in, I just get pushed back. I can't enter it. So I forgot about that part of the Twilight Forest. We actually have to fight the bosses in order. So we're going to have to find a Lich first before we can progress. But that's good, though, because that gives me an excuse to leave and go open the Iceika portal, because it means I can explore off-camera and find a Lich to kill. Oh, you can actually see some of the Yetis here. You can see a ton of them in the caves. Can I, go up here? Can I pick a fight with one? I think the Yetis are pretty passive, though. I think they don't really want to fight you. Oh, no. They toss you is what they do. I forgot. They pick you up and throw you. Hey, buddy. He picks me up and then he chucks me. He's just like, huh, get out of here. This is private property. All right, buddy. I'll come back later. So I guess we'll go home. Because I do have to find a Lich first before we can progress at all. But there is an order of operations to how you're supposed to go through the Twilight Forest. I had forgotten, but now I remember. We need to find a Lich's Tower first. I will do a real quick sort of glide around to see if I can spot one, but I don't think I will. And honestly, even if I do, I think we'll open the Iceika portal first, just so we've got some more dimensions to access. I'm not seeing one, though. Yeah, we may have to roam, because that's why they want you to make the map, is because the map will point you to the locations you need to go to. Although I do see some structures down there. We'll check that out before we leave. But the magic map will direct you to where you need to go. Right, and this is one of those ruined buildings. This is what I'm talking about by how the whole place feels post-apocalyptic. There are testificates in the overworld, but there's like no villages or anything in the Twilight Forest. Skeleton druids. Like, there isn't. All you get is like a bunch of crazy like monsters and a couple of evil wizards. And just by and large the whole thing oh, that's one of them. Robust oak twilight sapling. That's one of the ones that can grow into a big one. Cool. I'm gonna back out. I could break that spawner, but if I recall correctly, those druids actually drop good stuff. Yeah, they drop a lot of good stuff, actually, including milk and some other things. The robust twilight sapling? Oh, it has an EMC value? Really? Are you kidding me? It has an EMC value. Okay, fine, cool. I'll teach my table how to make robust twilight oak saplings so I can make as many giant trees as I want. Cool, thanks. Glad we had this conversation. That was a worthwhile detour. I think it's time to go home real fast. And let's look about opening up the portal to Iceika. Just because I like having options that stuff I can do between streams to explore and set stuff up for the next few episodes. I think it said a frame of ice, was it? Or a frame of snow blocks, right? Use a snow globe on a frame made out of snow blocks. Okay. I can do that. Where on earth did I put that? Oh, it's in my bag, right. It's here. I can also make the skyward bucket, too. So, by the way, to explain what the Aether is, back in the day, there was, of course, there's always, rumors and stuff about video games. That's just how it works. Anybody of a certain age remembers if you use strength on the truck after tricking the SSN into leaving but still having access to the dock, you can move the truck and get Mew, right? Which is, the reason I think that rumor persisted for as long as it did is because it's technically true, in the sense that there is a glitch where you can get the SSN to leave, and you can surf over to that place and get there. I have done it. But you can't move the truck. It's just a developer artifact that's left over. Mew is not under the truck, and the truck can't be moved. But it was a rumor, right? Like FUD lore, right? It was just a bit of unsubstantiated claims, video game cryptid stuff, right? So in Minecraft, there was a rumor a long time ago that there was another dimension, because Nether is essentially hell, right? There was a rumor that there was going to be a heaven dimension and that you could get to it. And the way you would get to it, or so the rumor said, because the Nether portal is opened by taking a frame of obsidian and setting it on fire. The rumor was if you take a frame of glowstone and like fill it with ice or dump water on it, it'll create a portal to heaven, to the heaven dimension, and you can go there. Now, unlike the Mew thing, there's actually a very good reason why that rumor existed. And the reason it existed as a rumor we'll do the Iceika one first. The reason that existed as a rumor is because, as it turns out, actually no, we'll do. Oh wait, that just breaks, doesn't it? Hang on, let me use the EMC tablet for this. Sorry, give me just a second. There we go. The reason that persisted as a rumor is because it was kind of true. Notch, back when Notch still owned the game, Notch was working on a sky dimension that was going to be a counterpart to the Nether. He was in fact making one, and there's even screenshots of it, of like chunks of land floating in a sky void, essentially. However, in the end, funnily enough, it's not an intended pun, but in the end, he actually repurposed it, and it became the end. So the heaven dimension is the end, which isn't really heaven. It's more like eldritch outer space. Oh, we have the creeper event is ongoing. Wonderful. Get off my lawn, please. I don't want you here. You're dangerous. You spawn creepers. Please leave. Please leave my house. Anyway, the point is, the heaven dimension that was being planned eventually became the end. Just like how there was a plan to implement dragons fully into vanilla Minecraft, but it never really saw fruit, and the Ender Dragon is the only dragon we ever really got. But there were plans for there to be dragons in the overworld too. They're just not here. They never manifested. It's a dead feature. So the Aether as a mod is kind of like a nod to that. And in fact, the Aether mod, the original version, was made by a guy who used to work on Minecraft, by a Minecraft dev. And essentially, it creates the heaven dimension that could have been, right? That's what the Aether is. Hello? Oh, you better not. Hang on, am I misreading this? Use a snow globe on a frame made of snow blocks. Hang on. Is there a specific... This is Divine RPG, right? Yeah. Is there a snow frame block? Is that... So there's snow bricks, but I can't craft them. I'm not quite sure why I can't open the portal to Iceika right now. Is this something that is staged? Do I have to go through all of these other dimensions first? Use a snow globe on a frame made out of snow blocks. This is a frame made out of snow. Yeah, it's snow. Is the sign getting in the way? No. Is it because the portal is too big? Does it have to be a true old school vanilla style portal where it's like this? Because I know the nether portal is variable now, but not all portals are so respective. Does it have to be a 2x3? It had to be a 2x3. Okay, that's that. Alrighty, that answers that question. Snow globe will go in here, and that is the Iceika portal. And we will go to Iceika, I think. And actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and open the Aether portal as well, since we're here. I almost fell into the Twilight Forest portal. The Aether portal, I believe, works exactly like the Nether portal, so I think we can actually do it. 1, 2, 3. sleep real fast. I'm sorry. We're getting jumped. We're getting harassed in our own yard. I think I might move one of the mega torches out here near the spawn portal, near the dimension portals. In fact, were they in this chest? No, they weren't in this chest. I might move one of them out here, just to extend the field of no hostile spawns. I guess you could go ahead and put that stuff away. We don't really need any of this. Thank you. But anyway, we'll go to Iceika first, and I'll take a poke around, and then we will go to the Aether, which is a very cool dimension as well. Again, I really hope that it's not some kind of glitch. Just as an aside, as a message to the modpack dev, I don't know why the music's not playing in the Twilight Forest. It's one of the nicer things about the Twilight Forest. Hopefully that's a fixable problem. If you have any insight into why the music might not be playing for me, or if it's a problem on your end, please let me know, because I would like the music to play. Okay. And yeah, we can do that. Actually, you know what? We do have those pre-made locations that there's, hang on, there's, where are they? I'm sorry, I know I'm wasting time, but there's a pre-made building that spawns. We've seen them. Astral Sorcery Temple. No, it's not that. It's not that, it's not that, it's not that. Where are you? There's a pre-made building that has Aether portals set up in it that you can just use, and I think we might, instead of building it here, we might use one of those just for the memes, just for fun, because it's a cool pre-generated thing. Astral Sorcery Mine. No. Although I do need to go back there and mine out all those blocks. Where are you? Case of emergency break glass, return. No. Tell you what, we'll go to Iceika, and then I think before we wrap this up, we'll open a portal to the Aether. But I'll go to one of those temples. I know where they are on the map. I could have sworn I marked one, but maybe I didn't. We'll tear that down for now, and we will put some of this stuff away. Where is my bucket of skyroot? I don't even see it now. Where on earth are you? Whoa! Sorry, I think I ruined the aspect ratio there for a second. Yeah, I did. It worked. It screwed it up for me too. Give me skyroot. Where on earth did my bucket go? I had a bucket. Oh, don't play games with me. I mean, come on now. Actually, wait. I can make one, though. Didn't I put it on the table? I sure did. Okay, it's fine. I can just make another one. I don't even know where it went, but it's fine. This is why you put everything on the table, kids. Put everything on the table. Oh, it's right there in my... I now have two of them. Okay, fine, whatever. Let's go to Iceika. Before I forget so much about myself, I forget myself, and I undo my own existence. To Iceika. Hello? To Iceika? Oh, you click on it. Wow, we are in a dark place. Excuse me. Okay, first of all, home. Second of all, I think it's night out. Thirdly, we appear to be in a cave. I need to refresh my... I don't know what that sound was, but that's terrifying. Pingool? Oh, I hate you. Oh, it's a ghoul penguin. Let's kick some ice. You're cute. That is a horrifying sound they make. I hate everything about it. I hate all of it. Get away from me. I hate everything about it. I hate everything about it. Oh, they're terrible. I know you're supposed to like wildlife and be understanding and appreciative, but genocide those things. Oh, good lord. Okay, so we apparently live in... This is daytime? Are you kidding me? Is this as bright as it gets? Are you kidding me? Oh, this is a terrible dimension. This is as bright as it gets, folks. Jeez. Shattered ice. Okay. Okay. This is what? A frozen tree? Brittle leaves? Right, because the lore of this dimension is the whole place got nuked, right? There was a wizard who nuked this whole place with one giant ice spell. Right. Oh, and there's a structure over there. How cute. So what does the quest book have to say about this? We've been to Iceika. Dimensional Ascension. Okay, to the Icy Realm. It's weird, but after encountering ice wizardry, I became aware of a calling from the cold. Someone has used this type of magic to open a wormhole, and I want to know who it is. Snowy powers, found in dungeons in the underground of Iceika. Not only someone was able to use wizardry to open wormholes, but this master of frost seemingly subjugated an entire planet to their power, turning it into a desolate and icy land. We need to find snowflakes. Our reward is red matter, which we don't really need because we're kind of post that. But also I think there was tools of the master wizards, and then soul of a grand wizard. Use the staff of Iceika to reach the top of the castle of the grand wizard. The power of wizardry is, well, seemingly unlimited. Just like knowledge, an infinite process that tries to approximate reality in increasingly accurate ways, with this type of magic, the sky is the limit. That said, the Grand Wizard that created the land of Iceika may have flown too close to the sun and paid the price for risking too much with their experiments. If this is what supreme ice power looks like, I am curious to see what awakened versions of the other branches of wizardry look like. Definitely would be nice to learn how to change the climate of a planet, and we need to obtain the soul of a Grand Wizard, which I imagine is the drop for the boss of this dimension. I do see some structures. There's also wizards here. Hello. Yes, hi. Yes, hello. Greetings. What are you? A workshop lamp? Coalstone. Okay. Workshop carpet. Snow bricks. Coalstone. Oh, interesting. It's like a legit house with like doors. It's like got a garage and stuff. That's kind of cute. Steel door. This can probably... Oh, you're real. You're a real person. Wow, you guys are like NBA players. You are nutty. Frosted chest. Interesting. Icicle Bane slows mobs for 2.5 seconds, infinite uses. Santa Cap from Iceika full set perks. Massive buff, 2 times movement speed, plus 6 melee damage, refills health, 80% melee damage protection. Chocolate log. Oh, snowflakes. I found one. There you go. Guess that quest is done. I was expecting that to be a lot harder than it was. Workshop bookcase. Workshop lamp. What do you guys sell? Because you're definitely merchants. Okay, so if I have 6 snowflakes, he'll trade me a Santa cap. If I have 6 snowflakes, he'll trade me a Santa tunic. Santa pants, Santa boots. Eggnog, not yet eaten, for 3 ice stones. 3 ice stones for some chocolate logs. For 15 peppermints. For fruitcake. For the 20 for the icicle bane. 3 for some Christmas lights. More Christmas lights, more Christmas lights, more Christmas lights, more Christmas lights. A present box, which I guess is a loot box of some sort. Blue candy cane, like candy cane blocks. Okay, wow, he's got a lot of stuff for sale. Okay, so essentially, I'm getting the feeling that Iceika is kind of like post-apocalyptic Santa North Pole dimension. Interesting. The Tinker will turn shurikens from Divine RPG into snowflake shurikens if I give him some snowflakes. Snowflakes and a Serenade Striker will create the Serenade of Ice. Okay, this dude, it looks like he just rubs snowflakes on Divine RPG weapons to turn them into ice versions of themselves, which is interesting. Mass Events turns into Frost Events. frost cannon can be turned into a fractite cannon. Interesting that ice shards can be used as ammunition. He can turn a sound of music into the sound of carols. That's pretty funny. So instead of a harp that shoots music at people, I can create a Christmas harp that shoots carols at people. That's pretty fun. Divine RPG adds so much weird stuff. I don't know what any of it does. Okay, you guys are cool. Thanks. I'll actually make a marker for you guys. You're a merchant and a tinker, so we will go with J. Wow, this place is desolate looking. Jeez. Workshop tinker. Okay. Arc. I guess I'll try the chocolate log since it's been uneven. There we go. Adding more food to my repertoire. Okay. Snowy powers. We got some red matter as a reward for that. Thank you. Already reached that tier myself off screen, but thank you. Tools of the Master Wizard. So in vanilla Arcane Essentials, which is a plugin for Electroblob's Wizardry, it adds these swords, which are essentially their melee weapons, but they're also wands. However, the trade is they can only hold 3 spells instead of like 6. In vanilla Arcane Essentials, the swords are unobtainable. You have to cheat them in. But a lot of mod packs that use Arcane Essentials will create other ways to obtain them. And I think that's what this pack is doing. I imagine they're probably loot for something because they can be obtained in super enchanted. Each of these elemental swords has a super enchanting recipe. Like the Master Lightning Sword, which gives plus 60 lightning potency, can be turned into the Lightning Flamberg, which is sharpness LV, unbreaking V, bending. Deals 35 damage, a much stronger version of itself, but we need the Wizardry Combiner, and we have to combine it with an Opinium Core, a Stormy Crystal, 8 Master Tomes of Arcana, 2 Sendonite Ingots, and 2 Dreaded Steel. And the Wizardry Combiner is... Uh-oh, I think my game just froze. Oh no, it kind of froze. Give it just a second, folks. I really hope this doesn't crash. If it crashes, I love you all, and goodbye. Okay, there we go. Anyway, the Wizardry Combiner is a custom multi-block that looks like this. It's added by this pack. It's something that the mod dev, the pack dev created, which it looks very cool. Good job. Good job, my guy. It looks nice. But they can be super enchanted. Oh, wait, the music is playing. Oh, I'm going to turn it up some. Oh, that's pretty nice. It's a little jammin'. It's a little jammin'. Ooh. Ooh. There's a battle tower over there. Oh, I wonder if I should go back to the Twilight Forest and try and listen to that music. Nah. We'll see about that later. There's another wizard. Oh, jeez! There's a war going on outside. Maybe I should not be using ice in Iceika to fight ice things. Maybe we should be doing some of this. Wow, you are a big boy to take that shot. I'm sorry, you have how much health? You're seeing that, right? I'm not imagining that number. We gotta go. That dude has so much health. He has thousands of health. What? that dude almost killed me. That's insane. That's actually crazy. Dude, what the heck is wrong from people from this dimension, my man? People out here are crazy. The folks from Iceika go hard. Jeez. There's a sign here. Come on, bro. No cheats. Staff of Iceika? I'm sorry, what? This isn't the Staff of Iceika. This is a workshop lamp. What are you talking about? There's no Staff of Iceika here. I don't know what he's talking about. Come on, bro, no cheats. This may be a leftover dev item or something. Maybe the Staff of Iceika was here at a certain point during the developmental process to make this easier for him to test. But there doesn't appear to be anything here right now, so I think we're fine. I'm going to check out that building over there. And then I think we're going to go to the Aether and stop. I'm sorry, is that an evil snowman? He just despawned, but I saw him. Don't think I didn't see that. Is that a freaking snowman monster? It would be. This is evil North Pole DLC. Okay, he truly did despawn. He's not here anymore. Man, there's some weird stuff out here. What does this sign say? Rip Dreadstone. Get nuked. Do not fly towards me aggressively, son. I'll end you. I'll end your whole life. I'll take your soul. We'll check out this building, and then we will move on to the Aether real fast. This is some pretty cool looking stuff, though. I can't believe it never gets any brighter than this. That's pretty harsh. Get nuked. Get out of here. Rip Deadstone. There's definitely something in this castle that is sort of just aggressively casting magic. I'm going to find him and I'm going to kill him. There's the entrance, I think. Let's, Ooh, there's the snowman. I want to fight him. Come here. Frosty, 600 health. What's up, Frosty? Get solar beamed. Interesting. What are you, rolling? Yeah, well, roll right on back wherever you came from, buddy. Ain't nobody got time for whatever it is you got. Oh, peppermints. Nice. The power of Christmas flows through my veins. Oh, Dreadwood Key. Okay, I don't think I can enter here. Dreadwood Key is made by fire and ice. I don't think I'm supposed to be able to get in here just yet. Okay. I've seen another building like this in the overworld, although I haven't actually, like, focused on it, but I found, like, some kind of weird mausoleum on a beach. What? Buddy, are you good? My man tried to cast a spell to kill me and divided himself by 0. Buddy. Buddy, you good? He's not okay. My man really just tried to cast a spell. Ooh, there's a chest here. What? Are you kidding me? Oh, jeez, nuked. I'm sorry, we just found a creative storage upgrade. Are you kidding me? Wow, there was some stuff going on in Iceika there for a minute. Jeez. The Iceika wizards do not play games. They don't. Those boys do not play around. Let's get our recovery. I can't believe we found a creative storage drawer upgrade this early. I'm gonna save it because if I can find another one, I can do the trick where you have storage upgrades infinitely dispensing themselves. I'll hold on to that, but that's nuts. Let's go ahead and do this. Yes. Well, hello. I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but move. Let me seek cover in a tree real fast so we can calm down and think about this. So that is a creative upgrade. I didn't imagine it. This makes it so if you put this in a storage drawer, it makes an infinite amount of whatever the storage drawer dispenses. Like, it's what it sounds like. It's a creative upgrade. That is real end game for a lot of mod packs. I can't believe that there was one just sitting there. I'm sorry, I have to know. I know I said I was going to leave, but there's another one of these buildings just over here. Oh, there's stuff on the roof, too. I wonder... Is there another chest in that exact spot? I need to know. Surely they wouldn't give me all of that this early, right? Surely I wouldn't... Surely I wouldn't find... Oh my goodness. Why? For what reason? For what reason would you give me two of them? I'm going to have to make a storage drawer and test that now because the old trick, and it's a trick that is built into a lot of mod packs, is if you create two of them, right? So the idea is /home. The idea is you create a storage drawer that dispenses infinitely, and then you put a second creative storage drawer upgrade into it, so it's dispensing an infinite amount of creative storage upgrades, is the idea. I feel like that's definitely more cheaty than just me finding a staff of Iceika on a platform. I don't know, man. Oh wait, I'm putting that in the wrong thing. Excuse me. But, okay. I'm not quite sure what's going on. Modpack developer, please give me a confirmation if that's intended to happen or not. If there's supposed to be chests on the outside of those structures that give infinite storage upgrades. I kind of feel like that's not intended, but also it's not my pack, and I know this pack goes real hard later on, so maybe it's fully intended. I don't know. Okay, let's do one more trick before we go. Yeah, there it is. It's right here. We're not even that far away from it. It's these buildings, these big marble ones. If I were to travel... Wow, my armor is beat up. We have been roughed up, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to have to fight some ender dragons probably off screen to get more of the hearts. Another reason we needed to make the Nether Stars, by the way, is the heart containers, the green ones, the next level up. So we need the green hearts that are dropped by the ender dragon, but it also costs a Nether Star to make the green heart canisters as well. So that's another reason we wanted to make these, is because we're currently, I think I'm at max. I think I'm as far as I can go here. Yeah, I am. 10 and 10. So to go any further than this, we needed Nether Stars to continue upgrading our health. But let me go to that building over there, and we will go to the Aether. Like I said, I could make the portal at home, but since he is kind enough to put a custom-built thing in the pack that has a portal for it. It would be rude not to use this custom multi-block, wouldn't it? Like, I can make my own portal to the Aether in any mod pack that has the Aether, but not everybody creates custom structures, right? And that's really nice of him, to make custom structures. The rain is really trying to push this glider down. I think that's a feature of the glider, is if it's raining, the glider doesn't have a lot of lift. It is this structure right here. Might have to kill some of those chimeras outside. Or are y'all gonna leave me alone? They're gonna leave me alone. Okay. Oh, hey, Rammerhead. What's up? This is a nice building, by the way. Just as a pay our respects, Graba 42. You rude thing. Graba 427 versus Pillar. Graba 427 was not Joseph. I don't know what this means, but I pay my respects to it nonetheless. Okay. Now then. Here we go. These are valid portals. This is also an incubator, which is used to hatch moas. And you know, it's actually kind of funny that it worked out this way, that I made an extra one by accident, because I can open both of these. There you go. And we use strength on the truck to move it, and behold, Mew is underneath it. Imagine that. I don't actually know what opening this second one will do, so I'm going to leave that for now. I kind of don't want two weird overlapping portals, but we'll go ahead and name this the Aether. And I think I'm going to do like a bright sort of purple. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's go check out the Aether, and then I think we'll stop for the day. Do I have to click on it? Oh, wait, no. This works just like another portal. You just have to wait. All right. Welcome to the Aether, ladies and gentlemen. The music's playing here, too. That's a custom structure over there, I can already tell. Anyway, welcome to the modded Minecraft version of the Heaven dimension that could have been, including sky whales. Check out that sky whale over there. Anyway, we were given a golden parachute and the Book of Lore. Now then, there is some lore on the Aether that is in the Aether itself specifically. But let's check out what this pack has to say about it, okay? Warriors of the Lower Sky. Astral magic is... Oh, I'm being shot at by one of these things. I swear, I show up here for 2 seconds, and the clouds are always trolling me here. I hate them so much. By the way, check out that music. This has got such a jammer of a track. We'll go hide in this cave. Turn that music, turn that volume up. Turn it up. There we go. In fact, can I just... I'm sorry. Y'all are going to yell at me for doing this, but I have to. Master volume. Oh, everything's already turned up to max. Never mind. Warriors of the Lower Sky. Where were we? There we go. Astral magic is so cool, yet many of its users do not share my intents for liberation. A group of testificates long ago has taken over some sky islands within Terra's atmosphere to experiment with artificial life. Because of their crimes, testificate history has decided to forget about them. Unfortunately, the product of their work is still very much alive and dangerous. Inorganic life. Found inside sky islands, there will be 3x3 entrances. Break blocks after finishing the dungeon. So we're looking for carved stone. Oh, so it's telling me to harvest stuff from the Aether dungeons? Interesting. Okay. Not sure why I would, but I'll follow your lead on that one. He's probably added stuff that's inside the walls, maybe. Corrupt greatness. Large Greek temples floating in the skies. Break blocks after finishing the dungeon to get angelic stone. And then Master of the Lower Sky. Rare and quite hard to find bell-shaped islands with golden oaks. Break blocks after finishing the dungeon. There is relatively little war happening in the skies above Terra. That was almost too easy. Curious if it is because those who are involved in this war do not know of astral magic. Hellfire stones. And of course there's Tools of the Master Sorcerer. Why use an Aromantic Prime? Holy Sword, Ice Ring, Phoenix Gloves, Ice Pendant, Mantle of the Stars. These 4 things are from the Aether. The Mantle of the Stars is from Astral Sorcerer. Oh, and what is the other thing say? The thing of Worlds. Book of Worlds. There we go. The Aether Islands are located... Oh, I already read this. On the bottom of Terra's asteroid range. So, let's go flying around. You do need some form of flight to travel around the islands easily. Normally, the way you would do this in vanilla Aether is you would find moas and you would tame them, because moas can be ridden and they have both like a chicken-style slow fall where they flap their wings and they kind of glide as they fall, and they also have multi-jumps. And depending upon the colors of the moa, depends on how many multi-jumps they have. And I think the black ones are the best, but they're also the rarest. Man, this place is pretty. Look at this place. That's the squarish things I'm seeing are custom. I kind of want to go check them out first before we have to cut this so it doesn't run on too long. We're kind of lagging a bit here. Not surprising, I've opened up a couple of portals in quick succession. The game is spending a lot of time thinking very hard. I think next time I do this, I'm going to have to make absolutely sure I have... Ooh, there's a temple, and there's another custom multi-block. That's custom for sure. But that's a temple. That's a Valkyrie temple. I'm going to have to shut down everything on my computer besides Minecraft to make sure there's no hiccups or lag. Is this a great wood tree? It is. Interesting. Wasn't expecting to see them here. That's a custom structure, that weird crown-shaped block. It looks like it's made out of crystal leaves, maybe? Or is it made out of stone bricks? I can't quite tell. But, man, the Aether is pretty. There are a lot of cool dimensions in modded Minecraft, y'all. Like, there is... Once you start playing modded Minecraft, you can't ever really go back. It's hard to go back to vanilla Minecraft, although... They are making the overworld really nice these days, but even so, jeez, just look at this place. Let's check out that. Let's check out this. Let's see what that is. Those are zombie horses. Those are skeleton horses. I sure hope they're not all about to transform. Is this a giant ambush? There's a lot of lag going on. Friendly skeleton horses? What? A button. Oh, this is a sucker's bet if I've ever seen one. I mean, y'all are going to be mad at me if I don't do it right. I'm doing this for people's entertainment. Okay, jeez. I don't know why there was a ton of lag just then, but it made me a bit nervous. Let me just do this. Okay. Let me get ready to fly away as fast as I can. All right. Meatballcraft? Hello? I mean... Okay. Meatball Wraith was killed by Lord Rain using magic. He dropped a sentient meatball and a tag that says Meatball Wraith. What? Diamond boots? What is the purpose of this? Is this just a way to get infinite free meatballs? Sentient meatballs? Maybe so. I'm not quite sure what the purpose of this is, but it appears to just dispense zombies carrying sentient meatballs. Fair enough. That's interesting. I think before we leave, because we're definitely going to have to stop soon, I think we're going to try and reach one of these other custom multi-blocks and see what that is. There's another custom island over there, that square one that's covered in trees. There's not a lot of natural squares in the Aether, I'll tell you that for free, so anything that looks square is definitely new. Okay, that's some kind of stone brick. That's not crystal leaves like I first wondered it might be. Dark Star Stone? What is Dark Star Stone? Content tweaker. Okay. What? It's a little gaudy, isn't it? Is there a way to in it. What is this? It's not thick enough to have an inside, I don't think. I'm not quite sure what the purpose of this is. It looks cool, but I don't know why it's here. I might have to look this up some. Dark. Okay, it doesn't appear to be used to create anything, nor is it made in any way. So maybe I just can't see what it's used for yet. We'll go ahead and put this back. I'll go ahead and call this Dark Star Island. I did not create a home portal sign here, which is a mistake. Let me go do that real fast. I'm falling. And I think the last thing we'll do before we quit, since I was expecting there to be something up there and there wasn't, let's go to that other new island that's not this. It was that one over there. Let's go check that out and see what that is. And then I think I'll cut it here. And I will see all of you in the future, which will of course be in the past for me, but that's because time is always relative, as we all know. Interesting, there's Tinker Islands here as well. I don't know if that's a thing that's normal. Oh, it appears to just be another... It's another one of these. It just happened to have golden oaks on it. Okay. Interesting. I'll tell you what. We've got like 5 minutes. Let me fly for a little bit and see if we spot anything. See if we can see anything interesting. Ooh, there's some moas. This is what they look like, by the way. They're a little goofy looking, but they're very friendly. They will not attack you. Don't confuse them for cockatrices, though, which spawn in the darkness. In fact, there is one here. He's right there. Cockatrice. I'm looking right at him. The difference is moas have teeth. And they got this. Look at this idiot. He's got teeth. Whereas the cockatrices do not have teeth. They have normal bird beaks. These guys shoot poison darts at you that can make you... They don't hurt, but the poison makes you drunk. And you lose control of yourself, and I think the idea is they want you to stumble off the edge, is essentially the way it goes. In fact, I'll even deliberately get hit so you can see what it looks like. I'm going to get hit and then let go of my controls, okay? Actually, let me kill this guy first. There we go. I'm going to let that cockatrice hit me, and then I'm going to not touch my controls, and then you guys can see what the cockatrice poison does, why you don't want to be hit by it. Hit me. Come on, you idiot. Hit me. There we go. I'm not touching my controls. And if I tried to fight this, it sort of scrambles your controls. And also, you notice he's continually refreshing it, too. Let me back up a bit. There we go. Die. And this lasts inebriation. This lasts for a little bit. I'm sort of stumbling around uncontrollably. I can kind of force my way to move in a direction, but it's a little bit rough. They're more of an annoyance than a true threat, in my personal opinion. But if they catch you in a bad spot, they can easily cause you to lose your footing. So you should be aware of them. He mentioned astral sorcery structures, or at least the adventure stuff did, but I'm not seeing any of them around. I was wondering if there would be temples or something around here, like astral sorcery style temples and things, but I'm not really seeing any. we travel, this will be the end. We'll travel to this island, and then I'm going to cut the recording here, I think. But I don't see things of interest. I might have to go exploring. I know I'll have to go exploring in the Twilight Forest to find a lich. I will not kill the lich off screen. We will fight the bosses on screen. But I gotta find them first, so... Oh, give me an achievement for bouncing on the thing. That's cute. Yep, and there's another temple. Interesting. Hang on, is there something on the roof of that temple? I see that. I'm not gonna fight the Valkyries, because I want to do that at least in order, but I don't see that thing on the surface of the temple. Oh, it's a beehive. That's cute. A resonating hive. There's also sheep up here. Okay. And a block of gravitite ore. Just in case you're curious, the way gravitite ore works is it's gravity-affected blocks. It's a gravity-affected ore, but it's reversed. So it started from here and it flew up that way. Gravitite tries to fly, and it will... If there's nothing stopping it, it'll fly off into the sky. So... I think in the actual mod itself, the lore is the reason everything is floating in the sky is because of the gravitite. The gravitite, trace deposits of gravitite in the stone are causing the islands to float, is the idea. But it's like it's a gravity affecting block reversed. It just flies up instead of falling down. But I think we're going to cut it here. I'm not in the mood to go fight the Valkyries, although they do have loot. Interesting. This looks like it's primarily... Oh, the mimics, right, I forgot. Holy cow, the mimics have a lot of health. And that's a mimic as well, because there's not a thing. They're both mimics. It was a lie. And these are the Valkyries. That is a lot of health. Hello, Valkyrie. What's that? You want to fight? Aw, what a cute little human. You're not thinking of fighting a big, strong Valkyrie, are you? You're not thinking of fighting a big, strong Valkyrie, are you? You're not thinking of fighting a big, strong Valkyrie, are you? So the way these dungeons work, by the way, is there is a Valkyrie queen, but she doesn't want to fight you until you prove your worth. You got to fight 10 Valkyries and get their medals that they drop, and only when you present her with 10 medals will she consider you worthy of fighting her. So we'll do this on camera later. We'll do this next time, I think. I'm going to leave. I'm getting greedy. I'm just taking everything they have. Also, you can, in fact, kidnap these Valkyrie using mods. You can pick them up and take them home with you. I remember in one mod pack, because there was a magic mod that added a spa. I populated my spa with Valkyries because I thought it would be funny. I will probably do that again since Valkyries are here and I can take them. They also have a lot of health. It might be worth it to, I don't know, try and see if I can use them as a bootleg Pokemon. 454 health, jeez. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for us today. We're going to go ahead and /home. And then we're going to go ahead and put all this stuff away. And I'm going to cut the recording here. I think this was a very successful episode. We traveled to Iceika. We traveled to the Twilight Forest. We've traveled to the Aether. We've opened up 3 new doorways for us to travel through, which is quite a successful venture, if I do say so myself. And I will try and make sure that the next episode we have some things to show you. Hopefully, I'll be able to find a lich in the intervening time period between now and then, and we will be able to do that. Hopefully, we will also be able to learn a bit more about that. Dev guy, modpack creator. I'm sorry if I can't quite pronounce your name correctly. I think his name is sainagh. I'm not quite sure. I apologize sincerely. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing it. Please let me know if it's intended for there to be chests on the outside of those those buildings that have creative storage store upgrades. I don't know if that's intended or not. Considering the way this pack is, it could go either way. I'm not sure if you intended for that to be a thing or not, but please let me know if that's intentional. I will refrain from using them until I have an answer, but either way, this has been Lord Rain, and this was Meatballcraft Dimensional Ascension PPD Edition, and I will see all of you next time.